Hey, how's it going, everyone? GC Performance here, back with another video, and today we are taking a look at something exciting. I know it seems small, but we'll get into that in a second. We'll talk about this new product as a whole, the Sram wireless blip tech specs, and what I think this means for the future, which I touched before previously on another video, where I think that Sram is going to completely revise their whole line of group sets in terms of their red, their axis, just because of the signs that what Rival showed us, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. So basically, SRAM came out with this news, SRAM Wireless Blip Tech, which is basically just a revision of their old blip system that they had. And what the blips were was that it was a system that you can actually pair up with if you want to run on a time trial bike, if you want to add sprint shifters to your existing SRAM Red or SRAM Force shifters, similar to like how Shimano Di2 has it. They had a system where they had these blips, which I'll show you like these. Basically looked just like this. Kind of plugged right into your old shifters and had these little circular things. They work decent, but the only thing is that they were much bulkier than a regular sprint shifter by Shimano. And once you put them inside tape, the actuation wasn't as good. And also downside to these now is on the new SRAM Rival stuff, the Axis they just released a 12-speed, they don't even accept these because of the fact that they don't have a port to plug into, which I'll talk about that into the future. So with this new tech that they just released, this is a completely wireless shifter. So you don't need to plug into anything. You can put it wherever you want on the bike, which is great. Much better actuation. Looks very similar to a, well, I'll just say to a Shimano sprint shifter. So the actuation is going to be a little bit better. But the best thing about it is, like I said, it's wireless. There's no plug-in. It's a non-chargeable, not a one-time use, a non-chargeable battery, non-reusable. They say that's supposed to last on average up to 7 years. And the reason why this is because they say Pro TT's average span on the bike, 4 years. Pro drop bar racer, 6 years. Average rider, 9 to 5 years. So what they're trying to get at is that you buy this product one time, you use it for the 7 years of a lifetime or whatever you're going to use as a cyclist. And if you didn't upgrade your bike or move on from that point, then you replace it, which I think they're like $100, I believe, for the set, or maybe a little bit more. Retail $99, yeah. So you can always replace them. So you're not changing on batteries. They're much more easier to use. Also, this makes it much more easier to place. You can place them on an actual sprint position, and they're actually going to have better actuation. You can place them in a climbing position, wherever you like. They have little clips where you can put them. The place where this is going to shine at is a TT situation for TT bikes. For the shifters on the TT brakes and also the TT aero bars. Because before, like I said, this was a nightmare, this split box. This thing you had to put on somewhere on that bike, on that mounting system. You had to run these cables through the air bars. You had to run through the whole thing. I built up shivs with it before. It's not impossible to do. It's not hard to do. It's just very tedious. But if you ever wanted to run these blips on a TT bike, it was a pain in the butt. Now, if you think about it, you don't even need this blip box anymore. You just have your rear derailleur, your front derailleur, and you pair up 4 of those shifters, those little satellite things, on the front of your air bars and on the sides, which is crazy. And then you can actually, inside the app of SRAM, you can actually actuate them to whatever you want to be, up or down shift. So that's great news. Very, very good news for the consumer. So again, $100 for the pair, it looks like. About 7 years battery span. They do come with a 2-year warranty, so if something does happen within that 2 years of the battery failing or something like that, they'll replace it with them within that time. No questions asked. And yes, it looks like, honestly, it's very innovative thinking, and I really like the idea of it. You can use it for dropper posts. You can use it for the mountain bike scene. You can use it wherever you want. I definitely am a big fan of these because it makes our jobs easier. It makes it more functional for consumers as well. So big kudos to them. Coming in sale for April 2002. And like I said, SRAM has always been innovators. If you think about it, Shimano just released their 12-speed high-end group set now. SRAM has had their 12-speed Axis group set out, I think, since like 2020. So almost like 2 years ago, or I think even like 2.5 years ago. They've had a 12-speed wireless group set on the market now for almost 2.5 years. So I mean, it's great. So that's why I think that this is going to be a revision to this group set coming up. Because of the release of the new Rival, because the new Rival doesn't take the plugins for the blip box, because they're going away, I think, that from the time trial bike as well. I think, and this is where I'll make the two parts of the video. This is where I'm going to talk about the revision to the group set. I made a video before, old style, new style. I think that when they released the SRAM rival, I'll show you guys right now. When they released the SRAM rival axis shifter, it is a completely different revision to what the Force and Red is. And everyone actually applauded it. They said that they actually liked the way it felt, because the one complaint that people said about the Red and the Force was that it was bulkier. They didn't like the shape of the hood. I mean, it comes down to preference and subjective, but they came from the 11-speed ETAP, which was one of the smallest group sets hoods on there, all of a sudden to the bulkiest with this SRAM. I'll click it back on picture. But on the bulkiest, which is a SRAM Red. So they have this massive SRAM Red hood, and then also this massive section right here to grip on. You can see on the new rival axis that they made the resting place for your palm much more ergonomic, and they made the hoods a little bit smaller. And I've heard from a lot of people I sell it to that they actually enjoy the feeling of the rival better. So on these new rivals, they got rid of the plug-in ports for the Blip box, and everyone was like, okay, well, it's a budget group set. It's not the end of the world, blah, 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 blah. But I think that this was a test release to see how consumers reacted to it, to see if they're going to take that tech and move it to a Red or a Force, and maybe even implement that one-time use battery. I don't know how consumers will feel about it, but to the group set of the Red rear derailleur and the Red front derailleur as well, even Force and rival, I'll wait, maybe trickle down the way. But what if they were able to make these derailleurs light as possible, because they're putting a one-time non-reusable battery for 9 years? I know it's expensive. I don't know if they'll do the derailleurs yet, but what if they did that, where they implement that non-reusable battery one time into the derailleur, front derailleur, and then to this group set, and pretty much the group set outlasts the bike of like that 9-10 years. I really do think it's possible. I think they're going to change the SRAM Force and SRAM Red group sets to match the shapes and ergonomics of this hood shifter, because it's been about 3 years, and that's when companies, manufacturers, they start changing up the product after about 3 years. They'll launch a new Red or rival on there, or Red or Force. They'll make it a sleeker, smaller hood, and I think that they will also use this new battery tech and this new satellite, or this new wireless shifter, into the battery tech of the Red and Force derailleurs. Because one of the biggest reasons why Red and Force are so big is because, or so heavy, is because of the fact that they're the derailleurs with a, I'll show you now, SRAM Red axis rear derailleur. Reason why these group sets are weighing in heavier than a Shimano or an Ultegra per se is because they have their own battery pack on the back of these things. So if you're able to cancel out this battery pack and implement, again, I don't know if they will or not. I don't know how the consumers will feel. Obviously, if maybe the consumer's not looking to buy the bike because of that, because the resale value would be shit. But if they're able to take this battery tech and just make it smaller and make it more affordable, whatever it is. But I think this is coming soon. I have not heard of anything from of insider information. I have not talked to anyone at SRAM about this. This is just, it seems like this tech keeps on going more and more towards that, and it's exciting. SRAM has always been pushing for it. They just acquired Hammerhead as well, the GPS unit. So I have a feeling that they're going to start. I have a feeling they're going to start using that as well, using Hammerhead to tune SRAM Gruppos a little bit better, that you maybe have onboard adjustability with your settings on SRAM too. So that's a nice product as well. Very exciting stuff. SRAM is doing a lot nowadays. I think they also acquired Time pedals, so you might see a power meter pedal from them in the future. Who knows? But I have a feeling that this new SRAM wireless Blip tech is leading to the fact of they're getting rid of the Blip box for the TT bikes, and they making these because of the fact to accommodate maybe new Red and new Force shifters in the future, which is exciting. But again, this is just me hoping, this is me wishing, but this is the type of stuff that gets me excited. The innovation, the competition. Shimano releases their 12-speed group set. Now what's going to be the counter reaction from SRAM? It all benefits the consumers. Obviously the price tag does not help, but it's exciting. It's always exciting to see new tech. This stuff is really cool. $100 for a battery that lasts 7 years to run on your bike, to have a wireless shifter wherever you want a bike that you can pair with whatever. All you have to do on this thing too is just like pairing anything else. You pair your rear derailleur, you pair your shifter, and then you pair your Blip box. And that's it. So Very exciting stuff. Easier for mechanics to work on for TT bikes. You can put these on your mountain bikes. You can put these on whatever. You can pair it to your buddy's bike to screw around with and do all shit. By the way, these comments have me dying down here. Someone said, these comments have me fucking dying. It says, they defeat the whole purpose by requiring a blip box to connect them. Agreed. That is a huge miss. Maybe they can make a pair through the app in the future. It said, only for the initial setup, apparently. It's not required. So David says, it's not required. It's only required if your bike does not have a SRAM component to act as a master unit. It literally states that in the article. Yeah, but reading is hard, man. You didn't read the article, did you? Like, bro, how do you just look at these pictures and be like, no blip box, done. But that's it, guys. That's all I wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I will put timestamps in the video. I do have some videos coming out too. Some new product coming out. Can't talk about, but new products coming out. And yeah, I'm just excited, waiting for a product again. Product's been tough here in the States, so just getting towards it. And that's it. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.